Welcome to the NFL Picks Week 6 with the Goon Squad. It's only me and Ice here today, but Black Thor is in first place, and we'll give you all the numbers to that a little bit later. Look down on the bottom of your screen. We put them up there, and we'll put them up on our social media outlets. So let's get a summary of last week, man. What are some of the games that stood out for you? Because I know there were a number of them that stood out for me, and I'm still pissed. And one of the games I'm still pissed at is the Indianapolis-Denver game. But what game stood out for you?
Well, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it to three, but I'm gonna take a different approach to this. Football has changed very quickly. I was watching a couple games back and forth, and then I saw a situation that was very familiar. I call it the Seattle Seahawk red zone Super Bowl syndrome. What I mean by that is when you're in the red zone, you 20 yards, away in right from scoring a touchdown, and a lot of times even closer. But sometimes in this situation with these three games, some teams in certain scenarios were less than 10 yards close to the end zone in crucial situations in the game. And in particular, the Browns, the Washington Commanders, and the Cincinnati Bengals. In the Cleveland game, with 3 minutes to go, about 3:33 left on the field, they were trailing 30-28. And just Jacoby Brissett was at the 9-yard line. And he went back to pass. And when they go back and show the play, he could have ran for 8 yards and got close to a first down.
Yeah.
He throws the ball, results in an interception. And that's that. And then two, the Chargers went back and tried to even do worse. They went for 4th and 2 on the other side of their 50 and gave the ball back to Cleveland, and Cleveland missed a field goal. But I'm like, are you serious? But Jacoby Brissett, bro, what are you doing, man? Moving on to the Washington game. 13 seconds to go. Carson Wentz is the quarterbacking, trailing 21-17. And he takes the ball and he throws an interception with about literally about 3 yards away from the end zone. I don't get that. And last but not least, the Cincinnati Bengals in the third quarter, who are on an 18-play drive, okay? They were 4th and 2 at the Baltimore 2. And Black Thor, a week or two ago, talked about quarterbacks being magical. I like Joe Burrow a lot. Think he's special. But he tried on his 4th and 2 play, he tried to complete a shovel pass.
Yeah.
You're not magical like that, bro. One, you don't have the personnel unless it's Chase catching the ball and your offensive linemen did not block the way they're supposed to. So with all that being said, in all 3 scenarios, each of these 3 teams lost the game on Sunday. And I'm like, there has to be something from the play calling to the quarterbacks deciding what's going on. I don't get it. And it's really just nerve-wracking to watch these great or these million-dollar quarterbacks make such bad plays. Jacoby Brissett, come on, man, you better than that, bro. But that's why they call you a journeyman. That's why you call you a backup, because of those type of plays. And I feel for you, but all I'm going to say is that y'all got to do better. The quarterbacks in the NFL have to do better.
Yeah, I understand about the Wentz situation, but I think he's ranked like number 4 or number 5 in quarterbacks at this particular time, which surprised me. And do you know what the Washington Commanders defense is ranked as? They're in the low 20s, bro. Now you have a head coach who's a defensive coach. How does that happen? So it's not all Carson Wentz's fault, even though I'm not really high on Carson Wentz. So, Tennessee, the game they played, it was 21-17. Even though Carson Wentz is a mess, you got to do something to better your defense in order to win in the NFL. And him being a defensive coach, I'm trying to figure out how come the Commanders aren't better on defense and stopping teams. That's what I'll leave it there. And Alex Smith said something to that. That's where I'm getting all these numbers from, because Alex Smith was pulling the numbers and like, he's trying to throw Wentz under the bus, but your defense is atrocious. It's bad. You can't stop anybody. The other game that I was really surprised with is the Dallas Rams game. The Rams are just maybe they're banged up. Maybe they're just living off the honeymoon of the Super Bowl. But you can see Sam Donald's face saying, "Man, I should have retired," because he was talking about retiring after the Super Bowl, and you could just see it in his face every week. Like, man, why am I back here? I should have retired. Went out on top, and I could forget this. The game that really pissed me off and I had a chance to watch that game because I had a chance to stay home on Thursday night, which I rarely get to do. And watching Russell Wilson, and you talk about that Seattle syndrome. Russell Wilson in the same situation he was in the Super Bowl, and throws an interception in regulation, and to the same side of the field. And it reminded me, and I was telling Black about this, but it reminded me of remember the show WKRP in Cincinnati and Les Nessman, and they were playing softball, and Les was in left field, and he was hearing the violin, his mother saying to come in and practice violin, and he wants to come in and go outside and play baseball. And it just seemed like Russell, that is stuck in his head, and he can't get over it because Denver could have just ran the ball, kicked the field goal, ran time off the clock, and the game would have been over because Matty Ice and the Indianapolis Colts weren't doing anything in that game. And they just, even in overtime when he had a chance to win, he threw another interception where it was needless. It was needless. You didn't have to do that. And so I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to be patient with Russell because it's a new team, new system, new players. But come on, you get paid to practice every week to get these things down, and you're getting in games like you guys have never seen each other before, and you don't know how to play football. So I don't know if it's the coaching, I don't know if it's him, I don't know if it's the personnel, but something is going awry in Denver, and it's just a matter of time. Even though they were booing that night, they were at home playing Indianapolis. They're going to be saying, okay, we got buyer's remorse in bringing Russell to Colorado at this particular point. The Bears kind of figured out how to lose a game against Minnesota last week with getting the ball taken away from you. And that Kansas City game, which was a good game, there are two teams that I want to talk about that face adversity and they're able to come back. Kansas City is one of those teams where I think Mahomes is 11-5 when their team is down by a couple of touchdowns and coming back to win. But Philadelphia with Hurts showed me that last week because they were having some struggles and they finally just put it together, pulled it together, and fought their way. They were gritty and was able to beat Arizona, which I was really lucky to get because I thought I was going to lose that game, and then I would be back more games than I am now in the picks. But I just thought that I'm noticing that the low scoring games, we're getting in these kind of profile games that they're showing. We're getting the low scoring games like Thursday night. I think it was 9-12. And those are games where I'm sitting there channel surfing or I'm playing on social media and not paying attention to the game because there's no offense going on there. So one of the things I noticed about that game last Thursday also is that KJ Hamlin was wide open and Russell didn't even see him. And you can see him just throw his helmet like, what do I have to do to get the ball? He's throwing it into the same direction, throwing it into coverage, and I don't know what's happening with Russell. I really don't. And when I talked to Black before we did the show last Saturday, he was like, this is what I've been saying. This guy is not delivering, and maybe he wasn't the one to help win the Super Bowl. It was their defense, the Legion of Boom, that was very significant in winning that. So, any other thoughts before we go on and give the stats?
Yeah, you just can't throw Russell Wilson under the bus now. When you talk about the Super Bowl, I mean, I get that now what he's playing now, but he definitely was an integral part of them winning the Super Bowl. It wasn't just all that team as far as the defense is concerned. Because if he doesn't make certain plays and get them to that point, they don't win. You put a Joe Flacco or an ordinary quarterback there, they don't move. He's been magical with some ordinary receivers and ordinary tight ends. He made them look real good. So I want to give him kudos for that. Now, he might be a little older, whole different thing. He may not have the personnel, but it is what it is. But yeah, you got to give him love, man, because he was doing some stuff that didn't make sense for what was on the personnel that he had.
That's true. I'll continue to be a little bit more patient with him with this new team. But let's go through results from week 5. We had Black Thor had a 12-4 outing last week, and he is in the lead by one game with a 47-32 record with one tie. Ice Water is right behind him with a 46-33 record. He went 11-5. Matter of fact, Ice Water, Pop, and myself went 11-5. So Pop is behind Ice Water with a 45-34 record, and I'm behind everybody with a 44-35 record. So there were some interesting picks because Black is not here. He sent his picks in, and Pop, I got his picks a little bit earlier. And he sent a message to both of you, said, you two need to call Miss Rudolph because he's coming. He's coming, and he's coming strong. So here in Chicago this week, the first game on tap, Ice is going first. Ice is going first. I'm going second. Pop and Black, I will give you their picks after we make our picks. So Ice Water, the first game on tap here in Chicago is the Commanders, Washington versus Chicago. And look at him showing off his Roger Staubach jersey. Okay. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just trying to get. I want the people to see what's see greatness when you see it. You know what I'm saying? Just
we'll see after this weekend against Philly. We'll see after this weekend the greatness. Y'all what? 4-1? Okay.
Now I'm talking about this jersey, bro. I don't know what you're talking about this year. I want the people to see greatness. When you see greatness, I want you to recognize it. That's all. Go ahead, though. What did you say?
I got my Giants jersey on. I chose number 2. That's my number.
Who is that? Is that the Passard?
That's me.
Wasn't that the punter? Wasn't that the kicker?
I customized my own jersey and put my own name on.
Wait a minute. Wasn't that the kicker?
You know I ain't gonna put a kicker's jersey on. You know that. You know how I feel about kickers. And this is not a kicker's jersey.
That's a kicker's number.
Hey, they went to the single-digit numbers this year.
That's a kicker's number.
Hey, anybody can wear a single-digit number this year.
That's a field goal kicker's number.
I'm going to pretend I'm playing defensive back for the Giants. How about that?
That's a field goal kicker's number.
Oh, no. I'll never get field goal kicker. All right, first game on tap is Washington at Chicago. Man, who you got?
Oh, my God. Where's Black Thor? No, I'll just play. Oh, man, this is a tough game. Chicago? Is it in Chicago?
In Chicago.
Thursday night. Anything can happen.
Yeah, there's a quick turnaround from both teams are kind of been beat up. So it's a quick turnaround.
I'm not going to waste time since I don't have Black Thor to rely on. Let's go, Justin. I'm going with Chicago.
All right. I'm going to go with the Commanders, even though I expect them to play a better defense, and even the slightest improvement in defense could hold down Chicago's offense. They play a basic offense. So I'm going with Washington. Pop is going with Chicago, and Black is also going with Chicago. So I'm the lone one there. Next game on tap is Cincinnati at New Orleans. Who you got?
Oh, Cincinnati lost to New Orleans. They lost to Baltimore last week.
Mm-hmm.
Should have won that game. New Orleans, your buddy ran crazy last week. Hill. Wow. My man Olave is probably in concussion protocol. Thomas is now back. I'm walking through this. It's in New Orleans?
It's in New Orleans.
I'm going to take Cincinnati. Cincinnati just makes more sense. I don't think they can keep losing this way. Cincinnati.
All right. I'm going with New Orleans. They said that Dalton's been playing really well. So I know that Jameis Winston is practicing, but they'd be best suited to keep Dalton in for a while and using Hill as that wild card. Pop is going with Cincinnati, and Black is going with New Orleans at this particular point. So it's
that's the one. That's the game changer right there. I'm back tied right there. Right there. I'm already back. Y'all heard it here first. Already back. I'm already tied. I just got to be careful the rest of the way.
You know what, Cincinnati, I wanted to choose Cincinnati, but their offensive line is just not consistent for me. It's just not consistent.
I got you. Again, you can't change your pick, so I can tell you this secret. Olave is out. They've been throwing the ball to Olave a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's out. Hill is 2 weeks in a row. Nah, you can't keep up with the Bengals. And Andy Dalton used to play for the Bengals, baby. They know his tendencies. They coming for you, baby. Coming for you.
We'll see.
Bengals all day long.
I just have more trust in the New Orleans defense against that offense. That's why that's what pushed me over. Next game on tap is Baltimore at the New York Giants. Giants been playing well. Last week I said, man, that's going to be an upset. I said it like right after the show. You were all here. I'm like, man, I got a feeling that's going to be an upset. They did upset Green Bay. The Giants are at home. Who you got?
Well, he told me, he gave me a lesson last week. Pops told me too. He said, you know, against your man, you gave him a nickname, you going to go with him. So guess what this week, Pops? I'm going with Mar. Mar got it done, and Mar will get it done this week too. Giants had a nice little run. You can take that jersey off now, sir. You can take it off now because what it's going to be like. So Mar is going to get it done. So I'm choosing the Baltimore Ravens over the Giants.
Yeah, I should have chose the Giants last week. I'm not going to choose them this week. I think they're playing really good football. What the coach I'm noticing doing is he's going with his playmaker. So he's putting him in positions to make plays. So you see Barkley in the backfield, Saquon and on the wing, Saquon here, throwing to Saquon, giving the ball to Saquon, and taking the ball out of the quarterback's hand and not letting him lose the game for you. So it's great strategy. And the defense is making the adjustments to beat teams. But I got to go with Baltimore on this one. Pop is going with Baltimore also, and Black is going with Baltimore. So it's a full sweep. Man, if the Giants win again, I apologize wearing the jersey, and then I pick against you. I'm sorry. Next game on tap is Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Who you got?
Wow, this is a tough game. Indianapolis is just so up and down.
They have nothing.
Yeah, it's just sad though. It's just really sad how they're playing the game. Matty Ice at home. Ooh, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. That's a shot in the dark. I really don't feel that, but I think they might have something. I don't see that quarterback being this bad all the time. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Okay.
They beat them earlier in the season too.
Yeah, I'm going with Jacksonville too, because what I saw, I watched the whole game of Denver, Indianapolis. I don't know what happened to their defense. Their offense is abysmal. It's just sad to watch. Matty Ice can't get the ball down the field. So I can't see them beating Jacksonville. Pop is going with Jacksonville, but Black is going with Indianapolis. So he's the lone wolf on that one. I can see us catching up. Anyway, the next game on tap is Minnesota.
I'm ahead already.
At Miami. You said you're ahead already? So next game is Minnesota at Miami. Who you got?
Ooh. Miami's trying to figure out who's the quarterback's going to be, right?
You're going to start the rookie.
Oh, no. You said Minnesota at Miami?
Yeah, they're at Miami. But the second string went down with a concussion. Tua, they said, is coming back to practice, but he's out. He's ruled out. So they're going with the rookie.
So I got to stick with good Kirk Cousins for about 3 weeks in a row. Let's go, Kirk. 3 weeks in a row, making people looking great. Need to get Thielen that ball a little bit and Jefferson. So, yeah. So, Minnesota.
Yeah. I'm going with Minnesota also, even though I got a feeling that Kirk Cousins is going to be just horrendous in this game, but I think they'll pull it out. Pop is going with Minnesota as well as Black, so that's a Minnesota sweep. Next game on tap is New England at Cleveland. Who you got?
Man, that's a tough game.
Yeah, it is.
Jacoby Brissett, man. I think the backup quarterback is still in there, right?
Yes.
For New England.
Mm-hmm.
And they won last week, didn't
they? They beat Detroit 29-0.
Yeah, I thought so. Whoa. Belichick back in Cleveland. I still can't believe he ever coached that team. But But no, I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I think that it was atrocious what happened last week. Brissett is upset. I think that defense will rise to the occasion. The backup quarterback, I don't see it happening. I don't know what the hell they were able to do that last week against Detroit, but nah, I see the Browns pouncing and getting and recharging their recharging themselves to secure victory. So Browns at home.
Okay. Also going with Cleveland at home. Pop is going with New England, and Black is going with New England. So that's a 50-50 split.
Woo, it's gonna be some movement this week, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be some movement. Next game on tap is the New York Jets versus the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are coming home after losing in the UK. Who you got?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is not gonna let that keep going like that. I mean, he's going to put a stop to it. Something that's happening. He's probably getting mad right now. I like the Jets, the way that they're playing. Their younger guys are coming along. Garrett Wilson still needs to get back in that fold a little bit, but the running back and the defensive players for the Jets, the young players are really playing their tails off, and their young quarterbacks trying to come along too. I like them, but I can't see Aaron Rodgers losing 3 games in a row. So at home too, he's gonna feel some kind of way. So I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Okay. I'm going with the Packers as well. Pop and Black are going with the Packers, so that's a clean sweep. Next game on tap is San Francisco at Atlanta. Atlanta should have won that game last week, but the roughing the passer call that wasn't a roughing the passing, really a call or should have been called. Tampa Bay got by him, but San Francisco at Atlanta. Who you got?
Atlanta's been trying to do a little something. They surprising me, but I think the big fella, the young fella, London, is hurt. He's been their primary receiver. I think Cordell Patterson is hurt for them as well, who's been showing out. I don't know how, but he has been. So my apologies to you because I still don't get it. But when a man's performing, what can you do except give him his just due? Anyway, with all that being said, I can't do that though. I cannot do that. Who did their opponent play last week?
Atlanta.
No, Atlanta played. But who they're playing? Who they're playing?
San Francisco played Carolina and beat Carolina.
Yeah, nah.
And Atlanta played Tampa Bay and lost against.
I'm sorry. I'm getting older, y'all. Let me focus in. Debo will take over. Debo Samuel taking over. San Francisco wins that game.
I was looking forward to seeing Debo West versus Debo South in this game to see, the battle between those two because they're very integral to their team. But I had to go to San Francisco because of Debo and Kittle. Is Kittle playing, I believe?
Kittle? I think so.
Okay. So I'll go with them on that. And it's a clean sweep. Pop and Black are going with San Francisco. Next game on tap is Tampa Bay at Pittsburgh. And who you got? I don't even want to talk about Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, I feel for the young guy, starting for Pittsburgh, but it's at Pittsburgh too?
It's at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Tom Brady ain't trying to lose in Pittsburgh, man. Not like that. Not to a team that the defense has been up and down. I think the defense is going to give him some problems, but I think they're going to find a way. The Mike Evans is an X factor, and he's been getting some play from the tight end as well. So I think that's going to be enough. And Tampa Bay's defense has been up, and I think they're going to cause some problems. So that's enough for me, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. I know TJ Watt is still out for Pittsburgh, and he's the missing piece. I think they haven't won a game without him. So I had to go with Tampa Bay with this one until he returns on that defense. Pop is going with Tampa Bay as well as Black is going with Tampa Bay. Also, next game on tap is Arizona at Seattle. Who you got?
Man, Geno Smith has been playing pretty daggone good too, up and down. Oh my goodness, that little dude, man, on the road, Seattle. My God, it's whatever week it is. Geno Smith is hot one week, not hot the next week. Leggett, and they got the weapons and they got the 12th man, but Arizona lost last week, didn't they? They lost barely.
Arizona lost against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
Philly had to come back and win and beat them.
That's enough for me. Let's go, little dude. Arizona. It's enough for me. Little dude.
All right.
Little dude. Mr. Kyler Murray. I'm gonna say his name so people don't think I don't know what his name is. Little dude, aka Kyler Murray.
Got to go with Kyler Murray in this game, even though they're playing Seattle at home. I look for them to bounce back against that loss. They had their game, but they Hurts was just too much for him. Pop is going with Arizona, and Black is going with Seattle. So he's the only one going for Seattle.
So
He kind of feeling confident, isn't he? He's just.
I don't know about that. I know what it's gonna be some movement in these standings. It's gonna be a. Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Hopefully, I can move up and catch up. Next game on tap is Carolina at the Los Angeles Rams. Of course, Carolina. Matt Rule was fired. 62 million. He's sitting pretty. You don't have to work for a while, so he's getting paid. And he was the guy that they said was a leader of men, and now they got another guy as a leader of men. So we'll see how that works. And then Baker Mayfield has been benched for, I believe, PJ Walker. So who you got?
Yeah, I don't want to see Rule lose his job, but the fact that Steve Wilkes, another man of color, got that job now, hopefully he can do a little something with that team. I'm going with the Rams.
All right. And they're not signing Odell Beckham.
They're saying that he's going to sign in November.
Okay.
But he wants to be there, but they're saying that they don't want to spend the money that he wants, that he needs. So he's looking somewhere else.
Right. And I was talking to some of my folks in Carolina. They were expecting Rule to be fired. They were looking at this. I don't think anybody expected it right. A fourth of the way through the season. But after 5 games, I don't think they expected that. But I remember Black said, was it you or Black who was saying that you didn't expect him to be the coach after this season?
I think it was Black, but I think that he's more of a college coach anyway.
Yes.
I mean, there are a lot of people that try to be professional coaches, it just doesn't work out. But I think they belong in the college game. And the pro game can be a little different because you can't have the effect on pro players like you can on college players.
That's true.
You play on emotions and whatnot in college, a little something there, but that's not always the case in professional football.
Right. The big game this week is Buffalo at Kansas City. Who you got? Yeah, Woo is right. This is the rematch.
Yeah, they're angry. Is that like a 4:00 game or something?
Yes.
I still got to go with Mahomes. I can't walk off of it. I still believe. Can't walk off of it. I like Buffalo, but I watched that. I was playing fantasy and I have both Mahomes and Kelsey. I was down by 250 points at the end before the
4 touchdowns really got you back in the game, right? Wow. I mean, it was like, Las Vegas said, we're not guarding him. We're just going to let him get it was almost like it was too easy.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching like I'm going to lose and I'm undefeated in my league. And I was like, well, I turned the TV on right when they were in the second quarter when they start coming back. And I'm like, let me watch this show because I know what they're going to do, especially when they made the bad call as far as the egregious call and they were at home. And I think that's the thing that's going to get them over in this game too. Everybody knows it's hyped. Josh Allen, we're going to see what he made of because, it gets tight over there in Kansas City. Their fans are really rabid. So that's why I'm choosing Kansas City.
Yeah. I was watching the game last week, and it's to the point where you can see Mahomes down by 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and you're not even worried. I honestly, when they were down in the game, I'm like, oh, they're going to come back. It's just a given that they're going to do something to come back. They're just a well-oiled machine. And so I got a feeling, I always get a feeling that I don't trust Josh Allen. I always feel like he's going to make a bonehead play and the critical times in the game. And so I got to go with Kansas City in this game. I got to go with Kansas City. Even though their defense is still a little suspect, they do play better, but they got a running game. If they can stick to the running game and stop letting Mahomes just throw the ball up all the time and concentrate on running sometimes, I think they'll be good. But Pop is going with Buffalo and Black is going with Buffalo. So we have split again. There's going to be some changes. There's going to be some changes.
Man, that's an understatement for sure. My goodness.
So this should be a funny one. Dallas at Philadelphia. And you probably feel the same way Pop is feeling. Pop would say, man, this is my team. I don't want to go against my team.
But my biggest issue is who's playing quarterback.
I think Cooper Rush is going to play quarterback. I don't think they're going to put Dak in unless Rush get hurt.
That's my concern. Oh my God.
He's not ready to play yet.
Last week I chose the Rams because I thought they were going to do what I think Philadelphia is going to do. And I'm kind of right there too again that I'm thinking, how are they going to do that? How are they going to, and it's Philadelphia too. Oof. Let's go.
I do it. I saw it.
Let's go.
I saw it. You got the joke.
Let's go.
All right. So
we're going to have a running game. We're going to move forward.
See, that's what I think. I'm going to pick Philly because that's what I think Philly is going to be keyed up on. I know Cooper Rush is an efficient passer, but they're going to make him pass the ball a little bit more than he wants to. And I think they're going to focus on that running game of Dallas. That defense, and I said it earlier when I saw it in the first game, Dallas defense is really a defense that you need to take note of. But I don't know how they're going to handle Hurt, because Hurts can run and he can scramble. He can do a lot of things. He's kind of like a more conservative Marmar, but I think he can really kind of screw them up. Pop is going with Philadelphia and Black is going with Philadelphia. So you're the only one going with the Dallas Cowboys on this one.
You know what? Hey, it has like
prime time.
I think Pollard is going to show you a little something.
I think they may. I don't know what Zeke's contract looks like, but they can let him go and just run Pollard.
Well, hey, wait a minute. Can I change my pick?
It's like checkers, baby. It's like checkers. You lift it up. That's it.
You know what I mean? I stand on mine.
You might be lucky like Black. Like, hey, man. You might be thinking us next week like, thank you for not letting me change my pick.
Look, I'm standing on it. I'm with it.
I
feel good about it. I stand on it.
Last game on tap is Denver against the Los Angeles Chargers. Who you got?
Poor Russell. Chargers, man, they did everything they could to lose that game last week. Everything. They should have lost everything. But I'm going to go with the Chargers at home. I think they have enough. They're going to do enough to not put their coach in a position where he's going to lose the game. Because they said something that really pissed me off or it just bothered me. One of the announcers was talking about how Cleveland just basically, they gave Cleveland the game and they just messed it up. So they went after, what they say, on the play I mentioned to you earlier, where they were on their side of the 50, it was like 4th and 2, and they went for it. Mm-hmm. They didn't get it. He says, well, they do stuff like that all the time. In the games that they've done it 7 times, they're 7-0 with them when they do stuff like that. I mean, you mean a dumbass play? He's 7-0? That's luck, bruh.
Yeah.
That's luck. That has nothing to do with any type of strategy. I mean, who goes in the 4th quarter, 4th and 2 on your own 40? Yeah. And you don't get it? My goodness.
It's like these coaches are trying to outsmart everybody, and it's just bonehead kind of decisions, and then they have to explain it. I don't want to hear you explain it at the end of the game. You just really made a mistake. You want to. I understand being aggressive, but sometimes coaches kind of just make these moves that go, this doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. Well, Pop, I'm going with the Chargers. Pop is going with the Chargers, and Black is going with the Chargers. So there you have it. I think there are just 14 games this week, and there are some teams with byes. So we'll see how we fare. There's a lot of, I'm liking this because there are a lot of differences in the picks, and it's not like, kind of regimented and everybody's picking the same thing, kind of being cautious. So I like it. It's early in the season. You can do it.
Yeah, it's going to be, I tell you what, it's going to be some movement one way or the other. So Black Thor is going to be up real well. He's going to be down 3 games. So, yeah. Pops, where you at, Pops? What does this mean? Is this a momentum changer for Pops? Can Pops make a move?
That's what he said. He said he's on it. You know, since the history of this show, I don't think we ever, none of us has ever won every game. So it'll be interesting if we can pull that off this year. That we just run the table.
You mean just for the week?
Yeah, for the week.
So what week is this?
This is week 6.
I'm gonna do it week 11. You heard it here first.
Week 11? All right.
Week 11. Yep. Deshaun Watson coming back. Week 11. I'm gonna go undefeated. Yeah. You heard it here first. Write it down.
I'm writing it down. Week 11.
Get your pen and paper. You want to go undefeated? You want to be a baller? Week 11. Come see me.
So he's gonna be doing his gazintas and all his Jeffro mathematics for week 11 for 5 more weeks, so we can get to week 11.
I'm gonna pull the hat back out, y'all. You know what I do when I get the hat on? It's on.
And remember, it's 123 days until Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show. We'll see you next week. It's like Christmas.
Yes, sir. Deck the halls with lots of Rihanna. La 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 la.